ISIS continues to lose ground in Syria, but it's putting up a brutal fight. The group pushing them out, the Syrian Democratic Forces, have reason, though, to be hopeful. They believe these are the last days of the terror group's self-styled caliphate. CNN has obtained exclusive footage of what could be the final battle. Our senior international correspondent Ben Wedeman is there and has this report for you.
In its dying days, ISIS fights to the bitter end. The small, remote, otherwise unremarkable Syrian town of Bahuz al-Fawqani on the banks of the Euphrates River, where it is now finely cornered, reduced to a pinprick shadow of its former self, by a combination of Kurdish and Arab soldiers, backed by U.S., British, and French special forces, and unrelenting coalition airstrikes, captured in this exclusive video shot by freelance cameraman Gabriel Chaim. It has been hard going, with repeated ISIS counterattacks using their usual tactics: booby traps, suicide car bombs, and human shields. And now, at the end, after years of war, ISIS's foes have scores to settle. Syrian Democratic Forces commander Haval Simko has fought ISIS, known here as Daesh, across northern Syria. Daesh is finished, he says. We're avenging our martyrs. Its black banner now in his hands. The battle, like the bombing, continues around the clock. These Arab tribal fighters preparing to take open ground on the edge of town. The commander gives the final orders before they move out. An armored bulldozer designed to take the impact of improvised explosive devices leads the way, and the troops follow. Flares illuminate the skies over Bahuz. The sounds of battle echo in the distance. The final battle is in its final days. Ben Wedeman, CNN, Eastern Syria.
Ben, thank you. A British teenager who moved to Syria to join ISIS says she's ready to return home. Shamima Begum was 15 years old when she left the UK with two of her classmates from East London. She's now 19, I should say, 9 months pregnant, and lives in a refugee camp in northern Syria. She had two other children who died as infants from malnutrition and illness. Begum told the British newspaper The Times she had no regrets moving to Syria, but she can't endure it anymore. Here's more of her conversation with the paper.
Yeah, it actually really did. It was like a normal life. The life that they show on the propaganda videos, you know, it's a normal life. But every now and then there were bombs and stuff.
Did you ever see executions?
No, I never. No, but I saw a beheaded head in the bin.
In the bins?
Yeah, it's really bin.
What was that like when you first saw that? These are the heads of captives?
Yeah. Didn't affect me at all. I have to think about my baby as well. After my two kids died, now I'm really overprotective of this baby. I'm scared that this baby's going to get sick in this camp. That's why I really want to get back to Britain, because I know it will be taken care of. Quite health-wise, at least.
How is it losing two children so close to each other? You can't have been left unfazed by that.
It was really... It came as a shock. It just came out of nowhere. And it was so hard.
My colleague Hala Garani spoke earlier with a former Metropolitan Police official about Begum's chances of returning to the UK. Here's a bit of that exchange.
The girls went in 2015.
Yeah.
I think what we need to remember, they were children, they're 15-year-olds. They were radicalised over the internet. The families, I was brought in because the families were very, very disappointed at the fact that they weren't told that these girls were being targeted. So the police were aware of it. There's a girl who'd gone out from that school. She was in Syria. She was working with ISIS to entice other girls to come out there. One girl actually got on a plane, and she was stopped as she was sitting in the plane and taken off the plane.
Yeah.
And then these three girls went. And what actually happened, bizarrely, was that the police gave a letter to the girls, these 3 girls, saying we're concerned about them being radicalized and we're concerned about their safety. They gave the letter to the girls. That letter was subsequently found in the girls' school bag once they'd gone.
Wouldn't it have been wiser to give the letter to the parents directly?
Absolutely. And I think the parents felt very, very angry that they weren't alerted. You know, you imagine if your child's out shoplifting, you'd be told, but the girls, they were at risk of being radicalized and going to Syria, and the parents had never been told.
This Shamima Begum, I'm sure you read and listened to the interview she gave that Times reporter. Frankly, it's a little chilling. She's so calm and collected. I get that she was a child when she left, but she's now a 19-year-old young lady. She's an adult now. She said she was unfazed by seeing severed heads in bins. She said life under ISIS wasn't so bad except for the bombings. She speaks kind of pretty casually about her first 2 kids dying before the age of 1. What did you think of this?
This is somebody traumatized. This is not a normal way that somebody would speak, you know. I mean, I'd be horrified. I was a police officer for 30 years. I'd be horrified to see a severed head, you know.
But she didn't sound like she was.
But we're talking about a 19-year-old who's lost 2 children. She went there. She ended up marrying a man almost twice her age.
Yeah.
This is not normal. And I think what we need to remember is what she's been through. So I think what we need to understand is she going to be saying exactly what she wants to when she's in a camp with lots of ISIS people there?
Hala Garani there speaking with Dal Babu, who was involved in the investigation when Begum and the other girls joined ISIS back in 2015. Begum told The Times that her husband, a Dutchman who had fought for ISIS, surrendered to Syrian fighters weeks ago. She hasn't seen him since.